What's poppin'? Dante from NuCarShine. I am the owner and operator for about 2 years. I got a customer car in here, which is a 2022 Legacy XT Touring. This car has been in my shop multiple times, just for basic washes and interiors. He opted in for the 7-year Hydro Silux, which I am certified in from Pittsburgh World Detail. And for our base wash, we're going to start with the GSF to start stripping things off of it. And for your bug and tar, typically you're going to get that all the time. I use Green Star, which is GS. I dilute it 1:1. And your active is like an acidic wash, but not an acidic wash in a sense. We'll be claying throughout the whole process, so the clay bars we'll be using is a heavy grade. And for our wheels, we're going to go with a Magic Wheel Cleaner with some D-Prep. And yeah. Alright, so this tire's pretty hammered. We got Magic Wheel Cleaner. So I usually use a generous amount on it. I go inside the barrels typically a lot. Like do 3-4 sprays inside, especially on the caliper. You're gonna see it turn on your rotor. But I like to use a generous amount, as you can see. Then you got your D-Prep, which I go on the inner barrels as well. This car is driven up and down the highway every day. She takes care of our veterans. So yeah, I want to make this one look pretty good. And Green Star for your tires. Like I said, it strips everything off. And this was maintained by me. I also want to go in your inner fender wells too. Make them look nice. And got the foam pad. You want to go inside and you can be aggressive with it. You're not going to hurt anything. Like inside all the nooks and crannies, because you will be coating the faces of the wheels itself. Your GSF is going to be your base wash. Those rims were pretty hammered. So for mine, I got one of these bigger foam cannons from Chemical Guys. I got it on a deal. I usually, for this type of a vehicle, I usually fill it up about halfway. And usually like 2 capfuls of the GSF. So you can be generous with it. If you pour more in, that's okay. It's really not going to hurt anything. It's more of like I said, your base wash that takes all the surface dirt off of it. And then the same thing when we go over to our bucket. We got another Chemical Guys bucket, like I said, on sale at Walmart. You can get these anywhere. I usually put in anywhere from 3 to 4 capfuls. This stuff is highly concentrated, so you are able to do that. Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to spray it. Doesn't have to be that precise, just spray it on. Keep it rims real good. I typically go up and down a little bit. Just ride your body lines. You really don't have to push that hard. I use a little bit of pressure, but not too much. You also want to get down into where your rocker panels are, because that's where a lot of the road grime sits. But you are stripping more of the surface stuff off of it as well. Doesn't matter if you mar it, you're going to polish it anyway. Okay, so now we got our active foam. So the active foam is typically after the base. It is acidic. It is a 9.5 pH. So we are going to be clay barring with this one too to take out more contaminants into the paint. It's same as GSF. I do two capfuls. You can do as much as you want. If you go over, it really doesn't matter. I do it all the time. But yeah, it is pretty thin. So watch yourself with it. It will come out fast if you do get a full bottle. Okay, so your deep prep is going to take out your deep iron deposits. So you want to spray it on like a lubricant. You can douse it. It's not going to hurt anything. The only thing I can say is do not let it dry on here, but you can let it sit and it will turn like a purple pinkish. I'll let you know that it is working. And as you go, you use the bottle, as, like I said, as a lubricant. Use it on the windows, plastics, whatever you want. Then when you're done with the clay bar, you douse the whole car again, then you let it eat. Now you spray this all over the vehicle. And you can smother it. And you let it sit for maybe about 45 seconds to a minute and a half. And spray off thoroughly. So we want to rinse this off thoroughly. We did soak this heavily with D-Prep. So certain colors you will see it light up, but with this being a blue, it does tend to hide things. So you'll see it once we get a light on it on how many imperfections are truly into the paint. Okay, so we're gonna go back to flashback to our GSF, which when we did the D-Prep on there, we raised the acidity of the clear coat. So we gotta neutralize it now just so it prevents streaks and a bunch of other crap. So yeah, same exact process. You put 2 in here. If you do more than 2, it's okay. Like I said, I do it all the time. But yeah, you just go over, and this will be your touchless car wash. This will not be any friction at all on the paint. This will just be strictly stripping off leftover wax that we did not get over the washing process. After washing it, should take you anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours for your wet process. I go over it with a tornador with my air, and I also go over it with a water blade. My dad's had this longer than I've been alive. But yeah, I just like to go around once with the blade, and then I go around with the tornador. And after that, you use your typical microfiber, and yeah, you're good. All right, so we finished the washing process. We blew out all the jams and taped everything off. So next thing on our list to do is to use intermediate pad from Rupes, whatever you want to call them, with a fine cut. And we'll go over the car multiple times with that. The intermediate pad I seem to like over their wool pads, to be honest with you. So we're gonna give it a shot and see what she does. All right, so I like to dab mine out typically, because I learned off a rotary, so I was taught to dab things out, but you can also stay in one place and start it. I typically go anywhere probably from like a 3.5 to maybe a 4 with like light to medium pressure, and in a cross-hatch platform. wipe it off and see what she looks like. So this should take out light to medium scratches, pretty much all your light towel scratches that you would see in the daylight. That makes it look disgusting. Yeah, there's your fine cut, your first step in your paint correction. So next we're going to use the Sonex. We got finished with the fine cut. The fine cut came out real good. The doors were pretty hefty, they were pretty hammered, but we tried our best and we got the best result out of it. So next we're going to hit it with a quick buzz of Sonex on the Americano pad. I personally like this. My distributor turned me on to them. Obviously, like I said before, I'm a dabber. I like dabbing a little bit. Check me in my personal life. Alright, so the paint correction is done. We hit it with the Sonex. I think it turned out pretty good. I can't wait to see it on the daylight. But what we are hitting it with now is a surface prep, which essentially what it's doing is it's stripping off all your waxes and greases that were left over from the paint correction itself. That we missed. We're all human. So yeah, this is just prepping the surface for your ceramic coat or your charge, whichever one you would desire. And you want to lather it down. Be generous, very generous. It doesn't matter if there's streaks or not, the ceramic coating will take care of that, or the charge, whichever one you are using. And this is by Hydrosilux. It is alcohol free too as well. But yeah, that's what it should look like when you hit it with the surface prep. Shouldn't be much of a difference. Alright, so we finished with the panel prep. I got the 7-year ceramic coat sitting in my hand. This should increase the value of your vehicle when you go trade it in. It does transfer over to owner. It is warranted up to $1,200 to $1,500. I think if I read it correctly. I didn't read the fine print yet, but this does separate the men from the boys. So we're going to apply it. So typically what you want to do is they have an applicator pad in the kit itself with gloves. I'm an idiot. I don't use gloves. But so what you do is you throw 6 drops on the pad itself, fill her up nice and good. You want to squeeze it a few times, get it all spread around. Then we do that again, make sure it's all good to go. Set that right there. So I'm going to picture frame in. Your plastics as well, hit those real nice. Then you can go into whatever motion you want. You can go into a circular, whichever way you want to go. But I like going straight line. So now we're going to use a 3 towel method. So this one is for your high spots. Typically you wait for it to flash. I can see it flashing. So you want to wipe it off real nice. So next goes our second towel. It just evens it out a little bit. So wherever you went over, you do want to move quick with it as well. So next one would be your insurance towel. And I'm gonna fly around the car and I'll show you guys the final results. So after your insurance, so this took us a while. I started this at 2 o'clock. It is now 12:38 at night. So it does take a minute, but I can say it is worth it in my eyes, just seeing the shine in it right now as is. And I am certified. I am certified through Pittsburgh World Detail. And I'm the owner and operator of NuCarShine for 2 years. And I hope you come visit me and get a ceramic coat. finally got done with this thing. It is now 2:15 in the morning. It took us roughly anywhere from like 10 to 12 hours to do this vehicle. But to be honest with you, I like the way it turned out. I don't mind staying up late for this stuff. But to be completely frank, this is my mother's vehicle. I did wreck it with 54 miles on it, so this is my payback to her on this one. So, but yeah, this is coded for 7 years, and she opted in for the warranty.